From the online retail store side, there's not much we can do. The only thing we saw was none of them were going in on online content. So I don't have a super high risk tolerance, so I'm very conservative on when I take jumps, when I take risks. I mean, if you look at every other sport, the way people consume content, YouTube is so heavy, and disc golf, even though it's more saturated now than like when we started, it's still not saturated by any means. When we hired Konner, he'll tell you this if you ask him. He somewhat lied to us.
So last July, I was able to go to the first ever Creators Cup in Charleston, South Carolina. And throughout the week, I was able to get a round in with a few of the people there, including this round with Hunter Thomas from Foundation Disc Golf. And we had a really good conversation about like how they went about opening up that store in Charleston, just the beginnings of Foundation in general, and yes, how Konner lied to get his job with Foundation. Oh, and Hunter told me how his wife may or may not have ruined his t-shirt collection. Let's get into it. We're doing 2 off of the first tee.
Two off the first?
Because everyone does that for casual rounds.
I'll go first. Why not? Let's see how we're feeling today. That's turned over. Well, hopefully the second's better than that.
Is it still to the right?
Yeah. I know by my shot you couldn't tell. Yeah. It's definitely a lot farther right than that.
Yeah. Oh, that's not stable enough. Nope, that was bad. That was the right. Oh well. Oh yeah, 2 on the first.
2 off the first.
Two on the first,
It's your own rule.
Yeah, it was my rule. You're right.
First disc was definitely the one I needed. I turned that one over more.
Yeah.
I just love that tree today. That's fine. I can get up and down.
Do you guys have like staff bag tags?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, we started that a few weeks ago.
That's fun.
We play like every Monday.
Nice. That'll stabilize.
That looks fine.
Get left.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
That's good.
Good shot.
Sweet. Yeah, so we're filming this like here in Charleston. You're opening up a store.
Yeah.
What made you want to open up a second store? Because you just recently opened up your first one, right?
Uh-huh.
And 2, why Charleston?
Yeah, so we always wanted to have like a brick and mortar location in Lynchburg, which is where we're from.
Yeah.
And then Dylan and Avery, 2 guys from the Charleston club down here, reached out to us because they were hoping to open a store, and they were having some trouble on the back end getting dealer accounts and stuff like that set up. So they pitched us the idea of like, hey, I don't know if you guys would be interested, but we have a big growing community down here. We would love to open a Foundation store down here, and it's franchising something in the future we wanted down the road. Yeah. It just kind of, the opportunity opened up. We looked into the market down here. It seemed like there's a great group of guys, great community down here that love disc golf, and we're like, you know what? Let's send it. So yeah, we opened the Lynchburg store May 7th, so about 2 months ago. So to only be 2 months into our first retail store and already open our second was a lot faster than we intended, but it worked out. It kind of, like I said, it just kind of fell into our lap. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, didn't they like, because you guys took a long time to open up your first one.
Yeah.
And then like your second one is just like boom, boom.
Yeah, because we've been open and operating for 3 years now, but we've just been online.
Yeah.
The in-person store is just something, it just didn't make sense yet, so.
So what made you want to start like the store in the first place?
Well, so the idea actually came about the 2017 off season.
Yeah.
Me, Paul, and Nick Carl actually were sitting down talking about the idea of opening a local store in Lynchburg. Because our community just didn't really have a local store. And we pitched around the idea. That's actually when we came up with the name Foundation. We did our first logo design. It was awful. Thank goodness no one ever saw that. But then, the 2018 season kicked up and it just nothing really came of it.
Yeah.
So then the 2018 off season rolled up and Zach and Paul were talking back and forth, and then Paul was like, well, hey, me and Hunter had this idea last year. Let me bring him back in. And so then we just talked about it and got everything set up in January and opened the store in February that year. That was 2019 is when we technically opened. So it was just kind of an idea. We just pitched around and then went for it.
So Paul was in it like from just like the idea
Yeah,
stage.
the initial idea for Foundation as like an online retailer, all that was fully Paul. Like Paul brought it to Nick and I originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
This tree is perfectly
right
straight in my way.
Dead center.
So that's nice. Nope.
Oh, thought you had it. All right, at least I'm not losing one-on-one.
Yeah, no.
I know it's a casual round, but I'm too
not keeping
competitive.
score,
I
man.
always care.
That's how this guy is. He's like, I don't want to do the work, but I do want to win.
I'm not here keeping score. I'm not a.
Well, I'll tell you where it is. Because I will be in my head.
You can keep track if you want. Don't tell me. Okay. Don't tell me.
I won't. Don't worry. If you see my demeanor slowly get sadder and sadder, you're winning.
Okay. That's not it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Second man's always better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it was Paul's idea to do like the store. Was it your idea to do like YouTube and go that way?
Yeah. So where is the next hole? Speaking of going which way?
Oh yeah. I think it's across the street that way.
So I mean the tough part was like when we talked about starting an online store. At the time, Infinite, all these guys are already set up, established, killing it. We were like, from the online retail store side, there's not much we can do to tap into that market. The only thing we saw was none of them were going in on online content.
Yeah.
And I, at the time, was a graphic designer, and I was working in social media marketing. I was doing stuff for like real estate agents. And Zach was a marketing major, and so it kind of fit naturally. We both like marketing and stuff like that. And we were like, initially, the whole reason we wanted to start the YouTube channel was just to be able to promote stuff on the site, create fun, engaging content. And the core essence behind the YouTube channel never changed. We just wanted people who are just getting into disc golf to like become excited about disc golf, and people who are already in disc golf to have something to keep them excited. And so as the store went on, we just wanted to use that to drive traffic to the store. Next thing we knew, the YouTube channel became almost bigger than the store in a lot of ways. And for the first 2.5 years, or 2 years, I think, we didn't even spend $1 on advertising because we just did it all organic through social media. We were able to just kind of crank out content and do it that way. So it wasn't originally a part of the business plan. It was just like we saw it as a marketing opportunity, and then it turned into a revenue stream and all of that.
Yeah. Sweet. That's interesting because I was almost under the impression that was like the main plan, because that's like not in disc golf yet. I feel like you guys are the first to do it, but like that's like a common thing now, is like content's first, and then you using that to kind of like build your business. Yeah, I mean it was essentially, we just saw the hole in the market. Was when we started, now when we do stuff with Foundation, all of it, we have meaning behind it. We have something we want to accomplish. We're working towards a goal of, just getting everyone excited about disc golf and stuff like that. When we started Foundation, it was just like, okay, this is a really cool idea. We want to have this side hustle with friends. What's the way we can make it the most successful? And so at the time, we were just like, oh, let's do some content. We love, having fun, doing silly challenges. Yeah. We can just do stuff around that. And then it just kind of took off from there. Yeah. This isn't the disc. Yeah, this is 370 over. This is over disc. To the right. Oh, it's pulled. Those trees grab everything. Yeah, you pulled out that Envy first, and I was like, I've never played with you before. No, I'm not. Throwing an Envy on. I went through a progression. I went Envy, then I picked up my Hex, and I was like, nope, that's not it either. Oh gosh. Shot down. Now it's back up. That's a great line. Oh, yeah. Great shot. Even with this little air bounce. What made you want to do like the Grip Locked podcast, like the not just a podcast in general, but like tour commentary podcast? Yeah. So Grip Locked actually was the first piece of content we ever created. It was a weekly live stream podcast on Thursday nights. We started it the turn of the year in 2018. And we were doing it for a month before we ever even started the retail store or anything like that online. And
it was again a similar thing. We knew the YouTube channel was going to be a part of like attacking a corner of the market we didn't see. At the time, Smashbox and The Upshot were like the two podcasts going on, and we felt Smashbox was an interview show. We didn't really want to do too much with interviews, and Ultiworld with The Upshot, they're so close to the players that we felt like a lot of times they couldn't get a perspective as like a fan sitting at home because they were all up in it.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted to be two guys that just, talked about disc golf and just had fun. And so it was again a similar thing of just trying to constantly be in front of potential customers' eyes.
Yeah.
And so we started Grip Lock then, and then Grip Lock, I mean, at this point, if I'm on a disc golf course and I get recognized, which doesn't always happen, if it happens, more times than not, it's for Grip Locked, which is funny to me because it's not the biggest piece of content we put out, but people always remember it. Probably because I tick people off on it more than anything else. There we go.
Have you always been the kind of guy to like talk about like professional sports like that with Grip Locks? Or was it more like we see like a gap in the market and I'm just gonna learn it type thing?
I mean, I've always been a sports fan. So like at high school, even college when I was playing on the disc golf team, we always talked about whatever sport. It was usually college basketball. Yeah. And I'm a big Duke fan. I got very passionate. So I never.
Gross.
Yeah. I never had like a platform and did it on it, but that's kind of what I viewed Grip Locked as, is just like, we're having lunch, and we're talking about like, oh, did you see what happened at Idlewild this past weekend? And we just run through what we saw out there, just like I would with a Duke basketball game or whatever, and just run through it like that.
Oh my gosh, no
Dang,
way.
Man, I gotta tell you, it's the foundation curse. Foundation on camera, putting goes out the window.
Well, my putting is out the window without the cameras on.
Oh, in general?
Too, in general, yeah. Every once in a while, I'm like, feel lights out, and I'm like, I can win any tournament.
Yep. That's how you know putting's all mental.
Yeah.
Because the days when it's on, you're like, oh my gosh, I might be the greatest putter on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And then you miss one 15-footer and you're like, I don't know why I play disc golf.
Yeah. It's just like one tournament, you're just like, I literally could have, I wouldn't even have won rec in this tournament, like with my putting. It's like, why am I playing this sport?
Oh man.
I think it's still you, because my putting woes.
Oh no, Hunter. If I had a good shot yet, it dropped me down.
Oh man. Oh, that was way too wide. Overcorrected from what you did.
Yeah, don't watch what I do.
No.
You watch what I do, it's just gonna mess you up.
How's the gyro thing going? How many days are you into it right now?
This is my 4th week, so this is it.
Oh wow, this is the end.
Yeah, as soon as this trip's over, I'll go home and pull my bag together. This video will come out after that one, so I can go ahead and spoil it. Not a lot of these discs are staying. They're great molds, they're great discs. There's just, Gyro's definitely different and it flies different than most discs. I'll give it that 100%. It's just not for my game. Yeah. I think it's for a game with people with like a lot more spin, is what I'm discovering.
Oh, okay.
They also like the weight disparity where like, if you have like a 170 and a 175 of the same disc, they fly drastically different. Whereas like in above, I have a 170 T-Bird and a 175 T-Bird, they're gonna be about the same. So I don't know, it's taken quite a bit to get used to.
The hero shot's through here, but that is such a small gap.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's right there.
It's framed up for you.
It's further back than I thought, so I think I can
swing it around.
Oh, not far enough.
Good line on it.
Faded out too soon. So why Duke? Like, is Duke, like I'm not even sure where Duke is, to be honest.
Duke's
like,
in
close to
North Carolina. It's like two hours away from where I grew up. But when I was like 4, JJ Reddick, who was like one of the best all-time Duke players, he was going to high school in Roanoke at Cave Springs, which is about an hour away from where I was at. Yeah. And he, like, the state championship game was played pretty close to us and all of this. So he was kind of like a hometown hero to a certain extent. Then he went to Duke, and this is when I was 4, is when he was at Duke. And then he was just a filthy shooter, and I really liked his game, and so I became a Duke fan then. It's basically like a somewhat local guy went to Duke, and then I've followed Duke ever since.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm like very casually into basketball. Like I just see whatever Sports Center posts or like on Instagram.
Yeah.
Is JJ Redick the guy who has that has a podcast?
Old
and
Man in
he's
the Three?
like, what is it?
Old Man in the Three? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's on ESPN
So he has-
every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's all the clips I've seen of him is just like him just like tearing down like the old guard or whatever in basketball.
Yeah. That's what he did in a lot of ways.
So. Oh. Yep.
Yeah, his game was very much like Steph Curry before Steph Curry, to where he was the guy who just he just shot lights out from threes in an era of basketball when it was just big man, bully ball.
Yeah.
But he wasn't, he was nowhere near as good or as electric of a shooter as Steph, so Steph fully changed the game, but JJ was before him.
Like, I know that much, that Steph completely changed the game.
Yeah.
So is basketball, like, is that like the one sport outside of disc golf, or are there others?
It's pretty much just basketball.
Just basketball.
Yeah, I'll watch football here and there. My brother used to be really into soccer, so I was a Manchester United fan just to bug him because he was a Chelsea fan. But other than that,
let's go over here.
Probably good. The local guys told me you just kind of start walking and everyone stops.
Oh.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I haven't been hit yet.
It's like a college town.
Yeah, to a certain extent. But yeah, basketball is what I played all through like high school, middle school, all of that.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the reason I found disc golf was as soon as high school basketball was over, my senior year of high school, I was at that time like training multiple times a week for basketball and all this stuff. And then my senior year's over, was nowhere near good enough to play college basketball. So it was just like out of nowhere, I had nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, what do I do for a competitive outlet?
Yeah.
And my brother and one of my best friends were like, hey, we're gonna go play disc golf there's a course like 5 minutes from my house. And so we went, and then we played like 5 or 6 times a week for the entire summer, and then that was it.
That sounds like a lot of people's story. It's like I was a competitive sports guy, and I needed the itch somewhere, and I couldn't find it after college.
Yeah, exactly.
In college.
Just had to find it somewhere.
How long ago was that? When was that?
That was 2015. So 7 years ago.
7 years. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Konner.
Oh.
I have a case of the Yanks. That's in the center at least. If I can keep getting up and down, we'll be okay.
Oh gosh, no.
You know, the camera's just facing
worse.
us, so I can just tell them whatever I want my shot to have done. I parked that thing under the bucket. You wouldn't believe it.
Yep.
Actually, you really wouldn't believe it.
All right, so yeah, I did take something out of Hot Ones. It's not going to be like a controversial Hot Ones, but I did look up in your Instagram, and I saw, like, there was one picture. It was so like artistic. It was you on longboarding, learning how to like slide.
Yeah.
So is that just like a phase, or are you still like?
No. Okay. So it was a phase, but not by my choice. So prior to my junior year of high school, got super into longboarding. Started like downhill longboarding, and then right before my senior year started, I was on July 4th weekend. I was going down this hill, and it was a very large hill. I forget, we clocked it on our phone once going like 30 or 40 going down the hill.
Yeah.
I didn't have my accelerometer with me that day, but I was coming down, and it was at a lake, and a boat, like a guy with a boat and trailer pulled out in front of me. And so on a longboard, your option to stop is basically kick out and slide. I had never slid going that fast, but I had like all my gear on and stuff, so put my hands down, kicked my board out, slid, and then there was a rock in the road, caught my left puck, and pulled my arm straight up and ripped my shoulder out of socket. And so I got up, adrenaline, running through me, didn't feel anything. I didn't even know I was hurt. And so I was like, dang. Like, I slid on my stomach across the road, tore my shirt up, and stood up. I was like, at least I didn't hit the car. And so I get up and I pick my board up and I walk over, and my brother was next to me. He like jumped into the grass on the side to stop. And so I walk over to check on him. He's like, you good? I'm like, yeah. And then I was like, you want to just go start it again? And we like turn around. I was like, I can't move my hand. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I can't move my hand. And then we look over and the ball of my shoulder's up here.
Oh gosh.
And so then, you know, went to the hospital, all of that, popped it back in. And
by the time you get to the hospital, your adrenaline's out. So
yeah. So then I was in a lot of pain. It was the worst pain I've ever been in my life. But yeah, so popped it back in, all of that. And then basketball season, it knocked me like, it was a month and a half of rest, month and a half of rehab to get back, which then put me like beginning of November, which was the start of basketball season when I could finally start like just practicing again. And so at that point I was like, I'm never touching a longboard again because it just ruined my basketball season. But after high school, I rode some, but never got back into downhill, anything like that.
So that was in high school?
That was my junior year of high school, yeah.
Oh man.
Going into my senior year.
Yeah.
Look up. Yeah, nice shot.
Is it far enough up? I might have pansied it or whatever it's called.
Okay, there you go. There I am.
Fluffed it. That's the word. I fluffed it. Oh boy. Whew. So I've heard you talk about coffee.
Yeah.
On Grip Locked a lot. It's like how into it are you? Are you like James Hoffman, like Onyx Coffee, that kind of
Not currently.
into it, or like just?
I'm above your normal person, but below or above your normal person coffee-wise, lover-wise, below a specialty coffee person.
Okay.
So like, I love specialty coffee. I understand it. My brother is like super into it. Like, he owns a coffee shop, roasts his own coffee, all of that. Only reason I got into it was he opened the shop. I went to work for him full time. And like, if you're working in a specialty coffee shop, you better know specialty coffee.
Yeah.
So I had to learn it. But then over time, my taste palette developed for specialty coffee. So then it just made where like Starbucks beans and stuff like that just didn't taste good.
Yeah.
It's basically how I got to where I was at. So I know enough to sound dangerous about coffee. It's basically where I'm at.
Sound dangerous. Gosh dang, David. So bad.
You just gotta tell the camera it went in. They don't know.
Yeah.
Man.
I'll just add the sound effect of change.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch this back and be like, I swear you didn't hit all those putts. Woo! Low left special.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I know
Thank you.
David is like super into coffee.
Yeah,
At least for someone who doesn't drink coffee.
Well, I'm weird with coffee because it's like I love coffee. Like I have my own hand grinder.
Yeah. Yep.
And I have like, I use a Chemex every morning because I make coffee for me and my wife. But I also have like a V60 and AeroPress.
Yep.
All that. I really want to get a Kalita Wave.
Oh yeah, that's what we used at the shop.
Oh, watch out. Oh, hey, they stopped.
They stopped for
Just
you, man.
like the locals said.
We used at the shop I worked at, my brother's shop. He actually had so to be able to do pour overs but not have the baristas tied up doing them by hand, he bought a Seraphim. That's what it's called. It's basically like just a head that came out and you could program for each coffee. We had different recipes for like Kenyans, Ethiopians, all that. You programmed basically how much water and when it dispensed so that it would do a pour over specifically for the coffee, but you could just push a button and let it go. So
I've seen those.
But we did, most of them were on Kalita Waves. Sometimes we did V60s. I do everything just V60, that's all I do. Because my wife doesn't like coffee, so I just make myself a cup every morning.
Yeah.
That's my bread and butter. But I'm a very like light roast, super acidic, Kenyans, Ethiopian.
Dude,
that's my bread and butter.
I love me a good Ethiopian.
Yeah. Ethiopian natural, it tasted like blueberry, is what really got me into coffee.
Oh yeah.
That's what made me start understanding coffee.
I feel like if you give someone something like that and they're like, did I just taste fruit in this?
Exactly.
And there's nothing in it. You just straight black coffee and it tastes like fruit. What?
Yeah. As soon as I tasted it, I was like, it really does taste like blueberry jelly. My brother was like, yeah, like that's what coffee was supposed to be. I was like, what are you talking about? And then I understood.
And then you go down the rabbit hole trying to make it and you realize it's like, wow, there's so much more that goes into this.
Yeah, exactly. I never got
I had to keep track of the mineral content of my water.
Yep, yep. I never got into, like, my brother always had like TDS meters and the whole 9 yards. I never got that far. I would basically like, I would make it, have my brother taste how I made it, and if he was like, yeah, that seems like it's properly extracted, I was like, all right, I can just recreate that. I can keep doing that.
Yeah.
That's as far as I got with it.
Oh, get sneaky.
Nope. Shot down.
Yeah, I like know about all the treating of water and TDS meters and all that.
Yeah.
I'm way too lazy to do that.
Exactly.
In the morning. I'm just like, so like I try to extract it the best I can with like changing like the grind size and how I pour and all that, but treating my water, I don't have time for that. No. It's like, I'm glad that stores do it.
Yeah, I'm glad other people have time for that.
Yeah. But I'm not doing that personally for that. I cannot throw my flippy rock in this.
Yeah, my brother sent his one of his roasts off to like get it graded by the Specialty Coffee Association.
Oh yeah.
And what he didn't realize was they had like the water hardness that they use on their site, and he didn't see that. So he was just testing it with our water that we use in the shop, and he sent it and he got it back like an awful score. And we were all so confused because it was like great coffee, at least we thought. And then we made it with water at the hardness that they use. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
It was awful. I was like, how does water affect it this much?
It's crazy, yeah. Oh my gosh, it slipped out. And I'm parked.
Yeah, incredible kit. I've never seen anything like it. I'm in the bush. About to become one with the bush. This will be fun. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I didn't know it could get this windy in the
Yeah, I know. We haven't played
the
in
Midwest.
We haven't played in the wind at all down here.
Now, if it can stay this windy
if
or
it
even
stays
windier,
this windy, I'll be very confident this weekend.
There you go.
very confident this weekend.
Heck yeah.
Because this is like normal.
Yeah, you're like, man, how's it so windy? And I'm like, I don't know, it feels fine.
For this place, I was like, I don't think this is common, is it?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, we are kind of near the ocean, so it might be.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. If I'm not making my 10-foot tap-ins, then I should just go home. Oh yeah, it is over here.
It is the one that's like on the
going
side.
across the street. What are they? A wraith. I like wraiths. Oh, there's a number on it. Why are they just sitting here?
They're probably just
know.
loners. Whoever wants to use them, found them.
Who knows?
Didn't want to
Yeah,
take
it's probably
them.
lost and found.
Yeah. I'm not trying to start one. I'm just here for fun. But as someone who's trying to start a business, or like disc golf business, YouTube, media, whatever, like there's a lot of fear that's in that.
Oh, for sure.
And so it's like, you know, entrepreneurship in general, I guess, but like what kind of thing, I mean, how did you like, I guess, cope with that or whatever? I don't know your like background on what you've done before. And
So when we started Foundation, I was working full time at my brother's coffee shop, and then I was doing freelance graphic design on the side. And that was my original plan, was I wanted to open a marketing agency. It was like my long-term life goal. And I don't know, I mean, for me, I'm a very like, I know my risk tolerance very well, so I know what I'm willing, how much I'm willing to risk for the reward, and I don't have a super high one. So like even my investment strategy is very like, if you looked at my stock portfolio, you would think I was like a 50-year-old man. I'm a very like index fund, like dividend type guy.
Yeah.
I have a little crypto. Crypto terrifies me, so I basically looked at crypto as I'm putting a few $100 in that I'm willing to just let it burn because I don't trust it. So I don't have a super high risk tolerance, so I'm very conservative on when I take jumps, when I take risks. And so with Foundation, it took until Brody bought in and there was no option but for me to go full-time,
Yeah.
And with graphic design, it took until I had multiple clients to where I was basically working the coffee shop. You know, I was worked like 6 to 2, I think was basically my shift. And then I'd come home and work until 7 or 8 at night doing graphic design for me to be like, hey, I should probably quit this coffee shop thing because I have this much going on. And then I jumped head on into that, grew that for a little bit, then jumped head on into foundation. So for me, it was just, I grew stuff on the side and just worked more than I probably should have at the time.
Yeah.
Until I knew, hey, when I jump into this, it almost didn't feel like a risk anymore at that point. But yeah, I mean, everything that I've done from coffee was the only thing that I didn't love when I started doing it, but I loved hanging out with my brother. So like everything I've done for work up to this point in my life has been stuff that I'm really passionate about and excited about, to where when I'm working and stuff like that, it doesn't feel like I'm like dreading it. So I've been fortunate to not be like trying to kick a 9 to 5 and, you know, chase this dream, because I'm like, you know, if I get stuck with my current job, I like it. So that's kind of, I'm a unique case in that area, because it wasn't like I took some massive risk and it paid off. I took very slow, calculated risks, and luckily they've paid off, basically.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm not gonna botch this forehand. It was a decent forehand, but not the line.
That's fine over there.
Yeah.
Every hole in this course, you're always like 20 feet closer than you think.
Yeah.
That's what I've discovered. Playing like 3 rounds out here, every time I'm like, that's a 50-footer. I'm like, I'm at circle's edge somehow.
Yeah.
I do think though,
depth perception.
First off, I think this is a great time to be starting a YouTube channel in general and growing one. Secondly, I think it's a great time in the disc golf sphere to be growing one, because, I mean, if you look at every other sport, like the way people consume content, YouTube is so heavy, and disc golf, even though it's more saturated now than like when we started, it's still not saturated by any means.
Yeah.
And there's so many different corners of markets that just haven't been touched and probably aren't going to be touched for a little bit, to where if you're consistently putting out quality content, people are going to discover it.
Yeah.
And like disc golfers are so hungry for content too.
Yeah, and like where do you, like if you're into basketball, there's ESPN, there's so many other things outside of YouTube. Like outside of like a disc golf pro tour subscription, like YouTube's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if you look at golf, which is obviously, as much as people hate to compare it, the closest comparison we have, golf, you have like all the media you could want with the PGA Tour, Titleist puts out videos, all this stuff, yet you still have channels like Good, Rick Shields, all these guys that are killing it, because it's a similar vibe where there's a spot for buttoned up, put together content.
Yeah.
Then there's a spot for like what we're doing here, where it's just like, feels like you're just at around with your friends.
Yeah.
That
YouTube,
is something
like,
that the Pro Tour and stuff will never be able to encapsulate.
Yeah, and even like not as much, like disc golf will move there too, but like even just huge companies, like they're almost spending just as much, if not more, marketing dollars on like YouTube stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's where the
ads on
eyeballs
YouTube than on TV.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
anymore.
what, like, Gary Vee talked about it a lot when, like, whenever a commercial comes up on TV, if you look at the room, everyone's looking at their phone.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason for that. Like, no one's watching commercials on TV anymore. This is getting people's eyeballs actually focused, and then a lot of room for advertisements.
Get it.
Oh! Yeah, it's definitely the way the media is shifting in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But, I mean, big media won't let it go away, so that'll still exist. Konner. I mean, dude, dead center. I have no idea which tees are which. I think we've played like a mix of front and back tees.
We have been playing a mix.
I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm just like, I've honestly been picking the one that looks more fun.
Yeah, it's fine with me. Locals will probably watch this and be like, now, why the heck did they go to that hole?
Yeah, why? Yeah.
They're doing it all wrong.
We're just playing, man. This is casual round.
Yeah.
It's casual round. That's why I'm not making my putts or trying.
Exactly.
But so if you weren't in disc golf, like what would you be pursuing? Like, would you be doing graphic design, or where do you think you would be?
Social media marketing, 100%, because that's what I got a degree in graphic design, and I started my like freelance business doing graphic design, but by the time I started doing foundation full time, all of my actual like livable income, consistent income, was coming from social media marketing. And it was something I didn't know I was passionate about and liked until I started doing it. And so it was all from, mainly my accounts were real estate agents, just marketing their homes, stuff like that. So that's definitely what because I was basically at a point where I was gonna start building that or go full-time foundation when I went full-time foundation. Because the next step is I was gonna hire people to do everything I wasn't good at with my marketing and graphic design side. And just kind of build it from there. So that's definitely where I would be if I wasn't doing this, which is funny because foundation in a lot of ways turned into a marketing agency just for ourselves.
Yeah.
So I basically ended up doing the same thing. I just created a business around it.
You guys are good at it, so.
Appreciate it. We try our best. Oh, Hunter.
Where is it?
Not there. It's on the stump all the way down, like just left of the road.
Oh yeah, I remember
Like
that.
all
I
the way
remember
down.
that.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody's aware the camera is on your shot now. So.
Oh boy. That was the first one I messed up all day.
This was one that we didn't play. It was like way too dark. So
Oh yeah.
I don't remember it.
You can definitely go forehand and get there, backhand turnover if you don't hit the tree like I did to play, or one of the guys we played with yesterday tried throwing a skip shot off the road.
Oh my gosh.
It looked fun,
That
but
looks
it's not
risky.
the play. It's not the play. He ended up in the front yard.
Oh.
Yeah, so it wasn't the play.
Oh, that is not it. I did not hyzer that enough at all.
That's fine though, it's in the open.
Yeah. So you said like with your marketing agency, you're gonna hire like basically the things you weren't good at.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you have to do that with foundation? Like which parts of foundation are you just like, yeah, if I did that, it wouldn't be good. I need someone else.
Yeah, so like our first hire ever was Trevor.
Yeah.
And that was when it was around the time Zach left and moved to Dallas, and we needed another face for grip locked, the videos, all of that.
Yeah.
So that was a pure necessity hire. Ended up being like the best hire I ever made.
Yeah.
The first hire that replaced myself and was something I knew I wasn't good at was Konner, which was our second hire, which was all the video production, shooting.
Yeah.
We needed it from a perspective of it's a lot easier to have a camera guy follow you and you just play and talk. But on the editing side, it was something where I could throw a video together. I couldn't do anything that added to it.
Yeah.
I saw on YouTube, I mean, there's a ton of value in editors. And then beyond that, promotional pictures, marketing videos, stuff like that. When we hired Konner, he'll tell you this if you ask him. He somewhat lied to us because he like just basically said he had a lot more experience than he did. I knew him from college, so I knew he didn't have like years and years of experience. But he like talked himself up, which is exactly what you should do. Got on the job. But as soon as he edited the first video, there was some rough stuff in it, but you could see that he really had a good vision and creativity of like, what can I bring to the video?
Yeah.
And then the technical stuff, it's like, you're gonna learn that.
Yeah.
Like that stuff's gonna come. And it was stuff that I couldn't teach him. I just knew this guy is passionate and driven, and he has a really good eye. You can't teach the eye. If someone's passionate and driven and has an eye for something, they're gonna figure out the technical stuff. And now, I mean, I would argue he's one of the best editors on YouTube, period.
Yeah.
We're just, luckily we have him for a disc golf channel.
Yeah.
He's incredible. So that's definitely been the biggest hire, because beyond that, you know, now we have someone who fully manages our online and retail store, because it had gotten to a point where it was bigger decisions than I was comfortable making with my business knowledge. And that was a great hire. That was a somewhat recent hire. And then a lot of, you know, fulfillment, day-to-day stuff like that for the online store have been our other hires. But Konner was definitely the big one that freed us up a lot of time and stuff for me, because like that's a big thing with business, is replacing yourself in strategic ways that it frees you up to go make money elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that's what the Konner hire did, was it freed me up to spend so much more time growing the online business, the online store.
Oh, editing takes so much time.
Yeah, and in addition to that, it grew our channel. So basically, by pulling myself out and relinquishing control from that, it actually ended up growing both sides. So it ended up being a great decision, but it was a stressful one at the time, because we weren't in the position we are right now.
And it's kind of hard to just like let something go like that.
No, exactly.
It's like you want to do it, and then you have to realize like he's not going to make the video that I would make because he's not me.
Exactly. But that's a good thing sometimes.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot to get used to.
Yeah. Gosh dang. I'm not doing a good job.
I'll putt.
It's like part of me is just like, man, I am sucking right now. The other part of me is just like, I really don't care at the same time.
It's a casual round, man.
Yeah, I know.
I lied to you on the first hole. I haven't kept score a single time. I have no idea where we're at right now. I could not tell you.
I'm sure you're beating me because I'm botching my putts and I'm not getting good drives. So I don't have to keep score to tell you that I'm not playing well. Nope.
Ah.
Whew. Would I have gone for that on Saturday? No, not at all. Not that we're playing this course, but.
Nope.
Nice.
Thanks.
Good night, David. I'm not finishing this hole. I'm picking it up. We're good.
There you go. Casual round. You made it, dude. Wild. You can throw that in post, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dead center.
Just throw up a technical malfunction. Technical difficulties.
We've done that.
On to the next hole.
All right, so other than YouTube,
Yeah.
or no, other than disc golf on YouTube, what are like 3 of your top channels that you love watching?
Whew.
If you're like, or are you one of those guys like, I don't really watch much YouTube, I just make videos?
No, I watch a lot of YouTube. I don't consume anything similar to what we create.
Yeah.
That's like a rule of mine. Because I want to be influenced by like what's trending everywhere else.
Like not
and bring it
even
in.
not even like good who like do like similar challenges
I'll
outside
like
of disc
sometimes
golf?
scroll through that stuff for like ideas of like literal formats to bring into disc golf. Trevor watches a lot of good.
Yeah.
So I get ideas from them. But I mean, Ryan Trahan, I'm a big Ryan Trahan fan.
He's
Have been
so
for
good.
years. Ryan Serhant is kind of cringy. He's like a real estate vlogger, but I kind of enjoy it. I used to be a big Casey Neistat dude. I go through spells with Good Mythical Morning, where I watch them.
Of what?
Good Mythical Morning, Rhett and Link.
Oh, okay. Oh, Rhett and Link.
Yeah, I go through spells where I watch them a lot. Sidemen, I've been on a Sidemen kick recently.
Sidemen.
They're funny.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're a British like group, KSI. They basically were a bunch of streamers that then made a YouTube channel together and just make like stupid content.
Oh, I think
They do like
I think I have heard of them before.
They do random challenges of like $200 versus $20,000 vacation and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then obviously Mr. Beast. I mean, that's
Yeah.
if you like YouTube, you gotta watch Mr. Beast.
I feel like even if you don't like that stuff, if you're making content for YouTube, like you have to know and watch Ryan Trahan and Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
It's like those are just like.
Which is funny because Ryan. So when I first started watching Ryan, he was just he was a running channel still, I think. He was like a collegiate. That's me inside. He was a collegiate runner, and he was going through this like period where, oh my word, it was before the NIL deals and stuff. So the NCAA was cracking down on him because he was making money off running, and I started watching him around that time. And what I liked about him then was the whole reason he started his YouTube channel was for his water bottle company called Hydra.
Yeah.
And so I was just watching that because I was like, oh, as an entrepreneur, he's gonna be great. And then he just slowly developed into this YouTube superstar, basically.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome.
Yeah, I like, I watch Colin and Samir, you know them?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've done a few interviews with Ryan Trahan. I heard that interview about his journey. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
It was
to
just
watch.
it's like, I just wanted to sell my water bottles. That's why I started YouTube. And now he's like.
I lost it. My wife threw it away. I'm very mad at her for this, still salty. It was, back in the day, he was like a smaller channel, but he came out with merch for his water bottle company. It just said Hydra.
Yeah.
And so it was like this super sick t-shirt. And I paid like $30 for it. And I loved it. I wore it all the time. And like now it'd be such a cool piece of merch to have. What the heck's
like,
Hydra? He doesn't do it anymore.
Who has that too?
Yeah, and she threw it out because I wore it too much.
That is, maybe wind. No, we're good.
That'll be fine.
Yeah. Your wife threw your shirt away. Like, is she like a? My wife gotten really into like minimalism, and so I don't know if that's why.
No, my wife's not.
Okay.
My wife, I own an obscene amount of t-shirts.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That is just my thing.
So it's a personal problem.
It's a problem of my drawers won't close because like if I like
So
it's gonna be
just
hard
had
for me to leave Charleston without a Charleston t-shirt. Because I
okay.
especially
One of those guys.
if it's comfort colors and it has like a beach town on the back, I will buy it every time. So we always go to the Outer Banks every summer.
Yeah.
And I could wear there's a tackle shop there called TW's Bait and Tackle. I could wear a different TW shirt for like 2 weeks straight and just never recycle the same color. That's just, so it was out of necessity of, I can't get your drawers to close, I'm throwing away your old shirts.
Yeah.
But she did it without asking, so I came home and I'm like, where are all my favorite shirts? She's like, you haven't worn them in years. I was like, no, that's not true. I'm in my rotation, give me a month, I'll get to it. It's been really hard with Foundation because like every time we come out with new merch, or like we've been, Flippy Disc Golf was sponsoring this week, so they send us shirts and like all that stuff. I constantly try to wear the new stuff in videos and everything, which means I have to take the new stuff home, which means I'm constantly getting more t-shirts than ever before. In addition to like, we go out of town, I want to buy a t-shirt. So yeah, it's a problem.
It's just, you send your wife through something years away and then like, I was just like, wait, my wife's throwing some of my stuff away because she's like more like, she watches like, it's called The Minimal Mom on YouTube. Yeah. And she's just obsessed. And then she's like evangelized her to like all of her sisters. And now all of her sisters, they're all minimalists. Like we're not like hardcore minimalists, but she's just like, do we need this?
Yeah,
no,
hey, that's a good way to look at life. That's a good way to look at life.
So like my wardrobe has like a lot of my favorite t-shirts. I was like, she was like, have you worn this in the last year? No, but I could.
I might wear it next week.
Yeah.
Now that you asked me about it, I'm wearing it today.
Did you even know you had this? That's not relevant. Like,
there you go.
I wish I was Paul Macbeth and I could go like that and like 150 feet.
It just goes in
like
every time?
150 feet. Like, it looks like he puts like no effort into it and then that putter just flies for like.
He creates some serious power.
Forever. I'm just like, what?
He gets a lot of, it's his wrist. Because even his putt, the amount of spin that comes on that thing when he just goes down and up.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Some guys like Ricky has it too, where they can just do this pop and it just like spins so fast.
Oh, and Calvin too.
Yeah.
Calvin is just like 200 feet.
Yeah.
Cover your face first and then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There it is. Second one counts.
Yeah.
Is that a first run Luna?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie. I bought these like right when they came out.
Yeah.
And well, like I bought a Proto because I was just like, I'm a huge Paul Macbeth fan. So I was like, he comes out with a new disc. I need the Proto just to have on my wall.
Absolutely.
And then I felt it. I was like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing. So then I like actually bought some for my bag.
Yeah.
And then these are the only ones I've ever had too.
Oh, nice.
Like I haven't bought another one since.
Really?
It's like, oh, you have all first runs? Why do you throw them? It's like, I bought them, and these were the only ones I had, and these are the only ones I still have.
That purple one?
And they're super stiff.
Yeah, I was say these are the illegal ones. Well, they're not actually illegal, but if they would have sent them, so basically,
because these aren't first ones either, but these are like exactly the same.
Yeah, the early Lunas they made a lot stiffer than like you. There's one run.
That's another reason why these are the only ones I have. Because
Yeah.
every time I go to the new ones, it's like they're not this stiff.
There's one run in particular that, like, if they would have sent it to the PDGA, it would have got not approved because I forget what they did. They didn't put enough rubber in. No, they switched their rubber manufacturer. The Protos, they used white rubber, and some of the first runs they used white rubber, and then later they switched to black rubber. And the black rubber is way gummier. So if you get ones that have white rubber, it's crazy stiff.
Huh. Oh, hold it.
Just drop.
What was that? I don't know.
That was an Envy.
Okay. I don't know how far this is. Like, is that a T-bird? Is that mid? I don't know. No, too windy. Get back. Woo.
Oh, into the bush.
Yep, that's nice. These bushes don't like to. They don't like you in them.
No.
At all. All right, so what's one thing, like one hobby or interest that like not many people would know? Because like a lot of people, I feel like if they listen to Grip Lock would know. They might know that you kind of like coffee, and they for sure know that you're a Duke fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
You like basketball.
I make sure people know that.
Yeah.
Man, that's a great question. Honestly, I mean, at this point, I feel like so much of my life is online.
Yeah.
I don't really have many secrets. I mean, if I If I go home, coffee, disc golf. I like to fish here and there.
Yeah.
I don't really get to do it much anymore. I used to be big into fishing, but we've been talking about that recently on the banter, so people might know that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well, I guess the t-shirt thing.
T-shirt, yeah, I do own a lot of t-shirts.
You can't leave anywhere
Here
without
you go.
a t-shirt.
I have a collection of, I collected playing card decks because I used to be, like I was when I was in like middle school, high school, I was a magician and I would do like street magic a lot.
Ooh.
And so I have like probably still a little over 100, 150 decks of playing cards. They're just like,
you and Robbie kind of have to put a magic show on for
oh,
us.
heck yeah. I don't know if I'd be a little rusty. It's been a long time.
We can post that on Swanky, right?
There you go.
That would fit their channel.
That probably would.
Like imagine, oh here, I got it.
Oh, it stayed up top.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something, I mean, I might have talked about, I've talked about like my magic phase, because I also used to juggle a lot.
Yeah.
But I have a playing card and Rubik's Cube collection that I think would rival a lot of people. I used to be proud of those.
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, I got into speed cubing.
Ooh.
Fastest I ever got was like 25 seconds. Couldn't get less. All right, let's make a putt here and wrap it out, huh?
Oh yeah. I want to know, Konner and Trevor are probably standing there just like, how long does it take for them to get through 9 holes? Oh
there we
yeah. Go. Oh yeah, beautiful.
It's a good sign, Trevor. Putter's on.
Beautiful. Yeah. Sweet. Well,
Appreciate it.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
You guys
really
having
enjoyed
a
it.
Bogey Bros battle today or something?
Yeah, we're doing one at Trophy Lakes this afternoon.
Ooh, nice. I've heard good things about that course.
We played it yesterday. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good time.
Well, good luck. May the putter.
Hopefully they
be with you.
Fingers crossed they go in. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on the channel, dude. I appreciate it. It was awesome.